And the most important thing in any yoga practice, really any practice period, is that you listen to yourself. I think that one of the best gifts of practicing yoga is the ability to listen to your body, to actually learn to trust what your body is telling you. And so if anything that I offer today doesn't work for you, please don't do it. Please shift, modify, adjust, take rest as you need to. Yoga is never a competition. It is never something that you're trying to achieve or accomplish. It is a practice of coming home, coming home to your body, to your breath, to your mind, to your spirit. And it's not about beating your body into submission. This is about feeling good in your body and learning to trust this incredible, miraculous feat of biology that you get to experience this lifetime in and as. So with all that said, I wanted to start today with a reading, which is from one of my favorite books of poetry, The Way Under the Way, The Place of True Meaning by Mark Nepo. And I thought it was an appropriate one for the moment. It's titled Earth Prayer. So if you're not already sitting down comfortably, you can find a comfortable seated position. I like to sit up on a blanket or a cushion, sitting cross-legged, sitting on your heels. Just be comfortable. And if you'd like, go ahead and close your eyes. Earth Prayer. O endless creator, force of life, seat of the unconscious, Dharma, Atman, Ra, called, dear center of our love, Christ's light, Yahweh, Allah, Ma'u, mother of the universe. Let us, when swimming with the stream, become the stream. Let us, when moving with the music, become the music. Let us, when rocking the wounded, become the suffering. Let us live deep enough till there is only one direction, and slow enough till there is only the beginning of time, and loud enough in our hearts till there is no need to speak. Let us live for the grace beneath all we want. Let us see it in everything and everyone, till we admit to the mystery that when I look deep enough into you, I find me. And when you dare to hear my fear in the recess of your heart, you recognize it as your secret, which you thought no one else knew. Oh, let us embrace that unexpected moment of unity as the atom of God. Let us have the courage to hold each other when we break and worship what unfolds. O nameless spirit that is not done with us, let us love without a net, beyond the fear of death, until the speck of peace we guard so well becomes the world. Welcome to your practice. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, you can let your hands rest on your knees. Roll your shoulders back and down. Let your eyes close. And take a moment to just acknowledge how your body feels right now. Without any judgment, without any expectation, and just notice. Notice you have a body. You might feel your attention drop from your head space into your chest, from your chest down into your belly, from your belly down into your seat. And here in this space beneath you, take a deep, slow breath. Letting it go with a sigh. And then allow your attention to move back up into your seat, into your belly, soft belly. To your heart space, feeling an open heart. Up into your head space. Clearer mind. And then allow your attention to rest right up over the crown of your head. And here in this space of connected consciousness, take a deep breath in. And out through your mouth. Now check back in with your body, your physicality, feeling your hands and your feet, your legs, your torso, your neck, your head. Notice if you're working with any injury, any curious sensation, any tightness. Oh, that's my cat. He's joining us for practice. And then notice your breath. Let it slow down. Notice the kind of mood you're in, the kind of attitude you've brought to your mat today. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Setting an intention for this practice to stay connected to your breath, to listen to your body. And a broader intention for deep ease and deep peace for the whole world. And let your eyes blink open. Namaste. This is Cat Head. Yes, his name is Cat Head. We're gonna come up to stand now and just start by warming up the 6 motions of the spine. So beginning in mountain pose, bring your feet about hip width apart, which is gonna be about 2 fists between the inner edges. The pinky edges of the feet are parallel. Lift and spread your toes. And you can shake out your legs a little bit. Lifting and spreading your toes allows you to build your arches. It can help to reduce the pain associated with plantar fasciitis. So just standing like this, generally, can really help. You can rock up and down the length of your feet, finding the 3 corners of the feet, the ball mounds under the big toes, the pinky toes, and the heels. Feeling yourself grounding. I think right now, with everything going on, grounding down is going to be really, really helpful. So grounding your energy down into your feet, and then feeling the legs lifting up and out. And check in with your knees. Make sure that you're not hyperextending and pressing them far back. A little soft bend is always a good idea. You have tendons in the back of your knees, and we don't want to stretch tendons. We'll stretch muscle. And then lift the front thigh muscles gently, lifting the floor of your pelvis, and drawing your belly in and up. And sense your tailbone dropping. A lot of people will say to tuck the tailbone, but I think it's more helpful to think about lifting the floor of the pelvis, allowing sort of a scoop to happen. So you feel the natural curve in your spine. Sense your hips, and you can hold on to them and sort of squiggle yourself up and out. Roll your shoulders back and down. And lengthen the neck all the way through to the crown of the head, the mountain pose. And take a deep breath here. And again, out through your mouth. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hinging over your hips, bend your knees, fold forward. Swan dive all the way down. And just let your head drop. Let it shake out. You can grab opposite elbows and sway a little bit to the right and to the left. And dropping the arms down Just slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing your head to come up very flat. Now take your feet a little bit wider, the heels and the toes out. Get a little soft bend in your knees. Then you take empty coat sleeves, twist. So just starting to gently twist. Imagine your arms have lost all muscular connection to your body. It's the only time, really, that I ever suggest any kind of flailing of any sort. But you're just gonna let the arms swing. Literally like the empty sleeves of a trench coat that someone just draped over your shoulders. You can pivot on the balls of your feet so that your ankles and your knees and your hips are all following this trajectory. And we can keep this really gentle, or you can actually pick up some momentum. And this is a great one to do first thing in the morning. I had a teacher who said it could replace coffee. That doesn't work for me, but it does help to get the energy going. And let that slow down, like the battery in the toy, losing its juice. Notice how you feel. We'll take the feet a little bit wider, lift and spread the toes, and let's go side to side. Starting to open up the sides of the body. Our sides get really constricted if we're sort of sitting around a lot, which we may very well be if we're at home a whole bunch, catching up on TV. I have not yet seen the premiere of Westworld. It came on last night. It's my favorite show. I'm gonna try to watch that later. I'm so excited. Find the beauty. Look for the good. Side to side, just opening it up. I see that there are comments here, but that phone is so far away from me, I cannot read them, so thank you if you have said hello. Next time you drop over to the right, just pause and reach your left arm up. Taking some deep breaths here. You can maybe take the arm over, stretch it out. And then reach all the way up, deep breath. Then we'll take it over to the other side. Maybe the arm goes over. And reach all the way up, deep breath in. And exhale, hinge over the hips, fold forward. Swan dive all the way down. And shake your head out. Make some funny faces. Nobody can see you right now. Good. And again, rolling all the way up to stand. So the breath we use in flow yoga is the Ujjayi pranayama, the ocean sounding breath. If that's not familiar to you, fret not. You will learn it, but essentially we're taking a 3-part breath, so the belly fills, the rib cage expands, taking the breath as high up in the chest as you're able, exhaling slowly all the way out. And the Ujjayi breath, we find a little bit of constriction in the back of the throat. So it creates sort of a hissing sound. And it's a great thing to focus on as we practice. As we start to flow now a little bit, one thing I always tell my students is to imagine your breath like a train. So if you were standing at a train station and you missed the train, I hope that you wouldn't hurl yourself onto the tracks, right, in a last-ditch effort to like grab onto the end of it. Or probably not, hopefully. And that's exactly the way you can think of your breath. So in vinyasa flow yoga, we're moving with the breath. We're coordinating breath and movement. And sometimes your breath starts to get a little faster, start to build a little heat. Sometimes you're a little anxious, like I am. And when that happens, it's really easy to just disconnect from the breath. But what I encourage you to do is just pause, wait for the next train. Just wait for the next breath, okay? So let's step forward to the top of the mat. You're gonna bring your hands in front of your heart center. I'm just gonna do a really simple flow here just to get the body moving around a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinging over the hips, fold forward, swan dive all the way down. Half lift, lengthen the spine. Try not to lug out your knees, try to think of your hips being directly over your ankles. And your gaze is straight down, so the back of your neck is neutral, your spine is long. Then we'll exhale and fold. fold, and step the feet back, coming into a plank pose, top of a push-up. Draw the belly in, bring the tailbone toward the heels, actively pressing the ground away. Deep breath. Bringing the knees down. I'm going to exhale and lower all the way to the belly. Lengthen the legs behind you. Press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. Chest, lifting, lengthening it forward. Exhale and fold. Then press into the hands. Take the hips back. And then up and back, downward facing dog. And let's take 5 breaths here. So in downward facing dog, the feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, firming the triceps in and under. You can pedal here, just moving around a little bit. And then come high on the balls of the toes. Bend the knees, excuse me, sink the hips. You're like a cat about to pounce. And then step the feet. It might be lots of little steps. Maybe just a few steps, maybe just 2, and fold over your legs. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, reaching the arms all the way up. Hands into the heart center. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, hinging over the hips, fold forward. Nice bend in the knees, swan dive all the way down. Drop your head. Half lift, inhale. And by the way, if you have yoga blocks, these are great to use in your half lift. And it gives you something to press into, get a little bit of a rebound. Deep breath. Exhale, fold it in. We'll step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Find that breath. So wait for the train. Knees down, exhale. You might lower all the way to the belly and repeat cobra, or you might lower halfway. Press the hands and the tops of the feet into the earth. Come into your upward facing dog. Then exhale, belly draws in first. Use your core. Take the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Traditionally, we take 5 deep breaths here. This is Surya Namaskar A, sun salutation. It might feel good to take it wide. Hands wide, come high on the balls of the toes, pull a bend into your knees. Let the heels melt down, stretch it out. Good. Bringing the hands back to shoulder width, feet back to hip width. Come high on the balls of the toes. Bend the knees, sink the hips, look forward. On your exhale, step, or you could hop the feet to the top of the mat and fold. Half lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees, root to rise. Reaching the arms all the way up. Exhale. Hands in the heart center. Good, let's do one more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward, swan dive down. Half lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Step back, plank pose. Okay. You can bring the knees down, lower halfway or all the way. Cobra or upward facing dog. Now, modification here, knees down, take the hips back first. That transition between up dog and down dog can be a little tricky. So take the hips back first and then take them up and back, downward facing. And we're gonna reach the left leg up. And the tendency is to do this. Whoop, right? Again, we're moving with the breath. So let's just practice that. Inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Only to begin again, exhale. It's this cycle. Everything has a beginning, middle, end, only to begin again. So we'll reach the left leg up, inhale. And then you can let the knee bend, let the hip open. From the triceps in, so you're buckling the floor between your hands. And square off the hip. Straighten out the leg, take a deep breath, and exhale. Let's step the left foot forward. Now say it only goes to there. You can grab it, whoop, and give it a little hand. And we'll spin the right heel down. Now left heel is in line with the right instep, and the left knee is tracking directly over the left ankle. A lot of people ask about foot placement, right? So if you think of your mat as a clock, your left foot is pointing to 12 o'clock, your right foot's pointing to 3, maybe 2:30, maybe 2. Then we're gonna windmill. So lift up, core is strong, the right arm is gonna lead, and we come up to Virabhadrasana 2. Okay. So let's say that your shoulders are not feeling great today. Put your hands on your hips or your waist, right? You don't have to keep the arms up. You can take the arms wide. So in Warrior 2, the pelvis is rotating away from the inner left thigh. Your shoulders and your hips are square to the long side of your mat. And right hand slides down, left arm reaches up, reversing, and we can take this with a straight leg if that feels better, if your quadriceps cranky. Or we can lunge. And so feel all this space you're creating here through your left side, and we're gonna take it with us as you straighten the left knee. We're gonna go all the way to triangle pose. So the left hand comes down. We can put the hand on the shin. We can take it to the front of the leg. And if you take it to the front of the leg, gently push and open up through your chest. So the tailbone's rooting toward the back heel, core is strong. And see how the forehead, I hope, is higher in space than the chin? Think of these lines, right? A lot of times you'll be here, or they're here trying to look at the teacher, and then you strain your neck. Like, oh, I like yoga, but it hurts my neck. Probably because you're straining your neck to look. And really all you need to do is listen and feel. Imagine someone's lifting you by the right wrist, inhale. Exhale, lunge back into your left knee. Let's try that with the breath. We're gonna inhale, reverse. Exhale, taking it all the way to triangle. Inhale like someone's lifting you by your right wrist. Exhale, and lunge. Good. Let's take extended side angle. So your left hand or your left forearm comes onto the left thigh, the right arm reaches up and over. So that right arch, want to keep it from collapsing. The right ankle, want to keep it from collapsing to the floor. Deep breath. And then coming all the way back up, you can go ahead and straighten the left knee, and then parallel your feet. You may have to step them in a little bit. Okay? 5-pointed star. So let's take a moment here. Bring one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly. Close your eyes. And go ahead and reconnect with your body. Reconnect with your breath. Check in with your headspace, what kind of mood you're in. Maybe you've managed already to turn down the volume on the thoughts and turn up the volume on the breath. And notice if the itty-bitty blank committee has tried to book the boardroom in your head and is judging you, right? And just, right? No boardroom, no meetings. We're social distancing, itty-bitty blank committee. Right? You don't get to meet and criticize. And then take another moment here just to offer gratitude to this extraordinary body that you have, right? You probably couldn't write a manual for this heart. If you had to actually control every single beat, you'd be very busy. Then you have this gut here, right? It's easy to feel here and be like, oh, it's too big, it's too fleshy, right? How many times have you stared in the mirror and just poked and prodded and criticized, right? Every day this body wakes up and its only goal is to support you, to bring you back into balance, to keep you healthy. It is fighting for you. No matter how you've treated it, no matter the choices you've made, this body is fighting for you. So maybe you owe an apology. Sorry. Maybe a little gratitude. Thank you. And reach the arms out wide. I'm going to turn the left toes toward the top of the mat. Lunging into the left knee, take a deep breath in. And exhale, windmill your arms all the way down. And I'm going to walk my left foot over and pivot to the ball of the right foot. So now my feet are hip width apart. And bring the right knee all the way down. Coming into a low lunge. And let the elbows bend, let your shoulders roll back, lift your chest, melting into the right hip flexor. And then we'll reach the arms up. And exhale. Now this one you may like to have your blocks for, Ardha Hanumanasana, or the half splits. So just gonna back up. Might need to hop that left heel toward the midline a little bit. Now, here's what I see a lot in this pose, and I've been guilty of it many a time myself, is that we tend to round out the low back here, right? And then we look like we're super flexible. But the truth is we're just gonna cause dysfunction, and we're not actually stretching the hamstring, which is the goal. Okay, so instead, you wanna lift yourself up and out, and feel that natural curve in your spine. And instead of letting this tuck around, you're just gonna hinge here. And now, okay, I might not look as cool or flexible, but I'm actually getting a stretch through the back of the left leg. So we're building in some stretching here into the flow, lunging back in to your left knee. Pick your right knee up, look forward, deep breath in, and exhale. Step the right foot forward and fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, reach the arms all the way up, inhale. Exhale, hands into the heart center. And just take a moment, notice how you feel. We're gonna do the other side. Just gonna move something over. All right. So back to the top of the mat we go. In traditional Ashtanga Vinyasa, we call this samastitihi, which means a state of bliss and joy. Which, cool, yes, that sounds good. I'd like to be there. A state of bliss and joy, to which we return again and again and again. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward, swan dive all the way down. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. And let's just step right back to downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Right leg reaches up. Remember, beginning, middle, end. Then exhale, let the knee bend, let the hip open. Mindful not to collapse into your left shoulder here. And find that quadricep stretch by pulling the right heel in. And square off the hips. So hips are now like headlights, leg reaching up. And we'll exhale, stepping the right foot forward. Now say it only goes halfway. Whoop, help it along. One of my favorite things about yoga is that you're in charge, right? It's like I used to do a lot of spinning, and they'd be like, turn the dial up. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's really hard now. But in yoga, you just get to decide how far you step, how deep you stand. Windmill the arms all the way up. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Let's take a little stretch here. Arms can reach behind you. Just roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Okay. Another arm option is goddess arms. Palms up, little bend into the elbows. And breathe. And we'll reverse. Left hand sliding down, right arm reaching up. And again, this can be done with a straight leg. Lunge. And then take all that space with you. So see, I'm taking all the space I just created on the right side, and it's going all the way with me into my triangle pose. Shoulders slide down. So focus on tailbone, rooting toward the back heel, core strong. You don't want to strain your low back ever. Yeah? Deep breath. The medicine's lifting you by the left wrist. Inhale. Exhale, lunge into the right knee. And let's just take that flowing with the breath. So let's wait for the train. And inhale, reverse. Exhale to triangle. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, lunge into the right knee. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, take it all the way to triangle pose. Lift it on the inhalation. Exhale, lunge. All right, side angle. Okay. Make sure, by the way, when you're in this position, the warrior two position, the triangle position, that your big toe here is tracking to the inside of your right knee. All right, we don't want the knee dropping in. You don't want your foot on the outside. Zoop. Deep breath in. And then exhale, the right hand or the right forearm to the thigh, left arm up and over. Now be mindful you're not just collapsing here. You want to have sort of equal length on both sides. So you're not resting your weight, right? Really, we could lift the arm up. There's lots of variations here of this pose. Deep breath. And inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, lunge into the right knee, windmill the arms all the way down. Now pivot to the ball of the back foot. I'm gonna walk my right foot over. Left knee drops down. Little lunge. Soften the shoulders and the elbows. Reach up. And exhale, hinging forward. I'm gonna grab my blocks. We're gonna take it back. Now, if you don't have blocks at home, it is no big deal. I have a plethora of books here that would serve as lovely blocks. I could find two that are about the same size. See if you could grab Catch and Kill there, and what else? Oh, Educated, Tara Westover. Those look about the same. And they're both excellent books if you haven't read them. Nice, slow, deep breath. And we're going to lunge into the right knee, lift the back knee up, take a deep breath, and exhale, left foot steps forward, fold, half lift, inhale, exhale, fold it in, bend the knees, reach the arms all the way up, root to rise, hands into the heart center, exhale. I'm going to take a moment and notice how you feel. Okay, so that was about 30 minutes. It's could keep going. I think what I'm going to do is offer a pigeon, a hip opener, and then a little shavasana, so about 5 more minutes or so. Okay. So starting back at the top of the mat, reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hinging over the hips and fold. Half lift, inhale, offer your heart. Exhale, fold, step back, downward facing dog. And right leg reaches up, inhale. Okay, exhale, I'm gonna walk my hands forward a little bit so I have more room. You're gonna bring your right knee to your right wrist and set your shin down. Okay, so one of the best things you can do in single pigeon Kapotasana is use a prop, because we want to keep the hips even like headlights, right? Now, if you have the flexibility to come down, to walk that foot back and come a little bit further, right, that's wonderful, but even still here, right, for me right now in this moment, I could put a little prop there, and it's so supportive. Right, so the hips are even like headlights. We're not opening up. This will be more obvious on the other side, but if I drop down and I let this hip open, into like a cheerleader split. Nothing wrong with cheerleader split, but eventually that's gonna really cause some dysfunction in my low back. So instead, I'm gonna keep the hips even, press into the fingertips, lift through the chest, and then just like squeeze the midline. You're not trying to splat your pelvis onto the ground, right? There's integrity here. Squeezing to the midline, lots of length, and then we're gonna hinge forward over the hips. Now, no pain in this front knee, okay? It's not worth blowing out your knee to stretch your hip. And you might like to put a block under your head. You could put the palms up. Reconnect with your breath. And now walk the hands back in. You're going to inch those back toes forward. Now you could just slide the right knee back, or if it's available, pick that back knee up, use your core, sweep the right leg back. Maybe you want to take a little flip, so right foot comes down, press into the pinky edge of the left foot, reach up. Open heart space. And then we'll flip it back. Woo. Plank pose, hips up and back. Downward facing. Your left leg reaches. And exhale, left knee. I always walk forward to the left wrist. Now my heel could just point right to the right hip flexor. If it's available, I can bring it out a little bit more, even toward parallel with the top of the mat, shin parallel, but no pain in the knee, okay? Then we start to inch it back. Now say you get here and you're like, oh, okay, right? Block any height, any prop, 7 books, whatever you have. Start to walk it back. Now I say, none of us are symmetrical. You weren't stamped out in a factory. Go figure. And one side might feel really different than the other. That's okay. You're just learning about your body. You're coming home to your body. And we'll exhale and lengthen. Now real quick, I want to show you a modification for this pose. So if that is not available, what we can do is thread the needle on the back. So that was my left leg, and it's the same shape. Crossing the, I have to adjust your hairdo. Crossing your ankle. Here, you can pick the right foot up off the ground, and interlace the fingers here behind the right hamstring, and draw it in. Right, and if that is too much, it is okay. We just keep the foot on the ground. You can take the heel of your left hand and sort of give a little press here. Now, I like to say to keep this foot as though you're pressing it against a flat surface. Make sure that you don't sickle the ankle or torque the knee. So if you're still in your single pigeon, forward, a few more deep breaths. If you're taking thread the needle, lots of other options. We could take double pigeon instead, stacking the shins, right, and folding. In whatever pose you're in now, I'm gonna walk the hands back in. If you're in the single pigeon, bring that back leg forward a little bit. You're gonna slide the left knee back, or if you have that traction engaged through your belly, sweep the left leg all the way back, 3-legged dog. For the sake of balance here, we can flip it. So I'm just bending both knees, putting the foot down, pressing in to the pinky edge of the foot, lifting up and back. Good. And then we'll come back to plank pose. And hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Okay, drop down to your knees. Let's take child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. I always tell my students, if you are able to sit up on your heels, you should. Because I see a lot of people even in their 20s and 30s who have lost this kind of flexion in the knees. So while you have it, you want to keep it by doing it, okay? Take care of those joints. Walk the hands forward. Let your forehead melt down to the ground. It's okay if your bottom's not on your heels, right? No big deal. In fact, one modification I use a lot with my students is placing something here to reduce the amount of flexion in the knees. And it gives you a sense of support to have something you kind of push into. I could even grab a bolster, and that would be great too. So let's just take 2 more breaths. And then walk your hands back in. It's like you're emerging now from your cocoon. Take a moment, notice how you feel. Okay. So right before we do Shavasana, let's just stretch the shoulders a little bit, give them a little roll up, back and down. And then reach your arms out wide. Take your eagle arm. So left arm under right. You might be able to interlace your fingers, you might not. A lot of us feel like we were born in some poured concrete in our upper back. And that's why we do the yoga. Reach out wide. Second side. Breathe. Open it up, inhale. And the hands come into the heart center. Okay. So go ahead now and lie down onto your back. We're going to come into Shavasana. Now, a couple ideas for Shavasana. One is to use a bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, you could grab couch cushions. I have done private sessions in people's homes for 10 years, and before I had lots and lots of props in the studio, we would just like tear apart their living room and grab couch cushions and pillows and anything we could find and create this kind of support. One thing I really like, I don't know if I have like a weird shaped skull, a lot of people feel this way, is if you lay on the floor for too long, maybe the back of your head starts to feel a little sore. So you don't want a pillow, because we want the head, neck, and spine to be in a straight line, but a thinly folded blanket can provide support without putting your neck right into flexion or extension. So I could lay down like this, pulling the bolster all the way up toward my bottom, adjusting there again, linking under the head. Okay. Arms come out to the right and left. I'm going to press the back of the head into the mat so you can lift and then tuck your shoulders under your body. Shavasana. Without props, no big deal. We just lay down flat on your back. And if your low back feels uncomfortable and you don't have a bolster and don't feel like tearing apart your kitchen or your living room, just keep your feet on the ground. You can let the knees knock in. That might feel good too. If you are pregnant and you are not comfortable on your back, you can lay on your side. And of course, if you are pregnant, I would encourage you to read up on yoga when you're expecting. It's actually really good for you, but you want to just take a look at doctor's recommendations. In fact, talk to your doctor. Okay. So you're in Shavasana, laying down, head, neck, and spine in a straight line, arms alongside the body, but not quite touching. Palms turning up, toes splaying out. Let your eyes close. And take a deep breath in. Fill up. Let it go out through your mouth and make a little noise. Your vocal cords hold tension too. And if you've been at home all day with your children, maybe your vocal cords are holding a lot of tension. So try it again. whole body just settle. Shavasana is the most important pose of the practice, truly. I know it can be really hard for some people to just be still, but it's so critical. So critical. So start here by allowing your tongue to drop heavy into the base of your mouth. You might feel it just spread into the base of the mouth. Feel your teeth separate. Releasing the hinge of the jaw, relaxing the back of the throat. Really relax the skin on your eyes. Your forehead smooth, your temples release. Feeling the back of the head resting on the earth, the shoulders and upper back. The length of the spine, the hips heavy. Soften your belly. Just letting everything go. And release all control of your breath. Right? Just allow the breath to be effortless, in and out. And if you feel distracted, can focus on the mantra of the breath, which is so hum. You may start to come into this sort of rhythm of so hum, so hum, so hum. So on the inhale, hum, on the exhale. This translates as I am. I am. And your mind might get very busy, and that's okay. You can imagine that you are sitting in a little chair in the very back of your headspace, just observing all of these thoughts as they come and go. You might imagine you have a really long feather, and the thoughts are bubbles, and as they start to get closer, you pop, and they dissipate, drop back down. Right now, nothing else matters. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Take rest. Notice how you feel right now. If you are able to stay in Shavasana, highly encourage it. Stay as long as you can. Allow yourself to drift. You can't let everything go. You can let things be. But as you're ready, to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, deepen the breath. You can stretch your arms up and overhead, rock the head side to side, a slow awakening. as you're ready, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Just take a little twist. Knees melt over to the right, left shoulder heavy. Bring it out. Exhaling the knees back through center. Inhale. Exhale, knees melting to the left, right shoulder heavy. Exhale, knees come back through center. Give yourself a squeeze. And roll over to your right side. My friend Nina from yoga school, maybe she's watching. She always said this was her favorite part of the practice. She would like to stay here on her side. And after she told me that, it made a lot of sense, and I started staying on my side a lot longer too. Because you're kind of curling up, you're kind of offering yourself this unconditional, maternal comfort. When you are ready, press your left hand into the earth and let it flow like water. So see if your head can come up very last. And finding your way back into a comfortable seat. First ever live stream. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to work out the kinks. Going to try to offer a flow practice and a gentle practice every day this week. A kids practice in the morning, a flow practice in the afternoon, a gentle practice later in the afternoon or evening. So I really hope that you are able to join me. I hope this is supportive. If you have requests, if you have comments, let me know. I'll try to offer a little more practices, really getting specific into alignment on certain poses, practice for back pain, shoulder tension. I have a lot of practices we can do together. So it is an honor to support you, and I hope that this practice serves you. So I close all of the practices that I teach in the same way. The word Shanti means peace. Jai Bhagwan is the traditional Kripalu greeting, sort of similar to the Namaste you might hear in other classes. It loosely translates victory to your spirit. And Namaste is translated sometimes as the light in me, recognizes the light in you. My soul recognizes your soul. It really just means hello and goodbye, but I think there's a certain reverence. So let's bring our hands in front of the heart center. Dropping the chin to the chest, a gesture of gratitude towards self for taking the time to practice. Om Shanti, 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 Om peace, peace, peace. Jai Bhagwan. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.